What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a 10-minute haircut tutorial, so stay tuned. We're starting off by creating our first guideline with our GoatFX. You also want to make sure this guideline is at a little bit of a curve. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. We're going to use the lever all the way closed and midway to help you erase that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're going to use the same guard and use the lever to soften up the line and get it ready for the half guard. Now we're moving on to our two guard all the way open. This guard will help us blend into the bulk and also blend into the lower guards, connecting it with the 1.5 guard. Moving on to our clipper over comb method, we're using a horizontal angle to debulk. Now we're debulking the neckline area just so I can get a crispy lineup. Now that we're done debulking the neckline, we can move on to our GoatFX and start to line them up. I always like to start off at the bottom of the neckline and work my way to the top arch. Moving on to his C-cup area, I love to start off at the bottom and then work my way to the top arch. We apply some shave stick right before we use the photo shaver. Going back to my 1.5 guard all the way open just so I could detail, because I saw a little bit of darkness that I needed to remove. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you watch to the end. Moving on to the top, we're using our shears to make a nice and even guideline through the middle. Remember, you always want to make sure the hair is nice and damp so you could get the true length when combing them out. Right here, we're using our shears to make sure the bulk is nice and blended in. Now we're moving on to our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades, and we're going to make him as crispy as possible. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a low fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place. We're also gonna separate the top from the sides. Since we want to keep the fade low and there isn't a large surface area to fade, we're starting off with our no guard all the way open, creating our first guideline as if it was our bald guideline. And right underneath the no guard all the way open, we're creating another line with our trimmers. Now I'm moving on to my one guard all the way open, creating our second guideline right above the no guard all the way open. Remember to always feed the hair into the clipper with your comb. Now that we're done stacking our guards, we're moving on to our Goat FX and we're creating our bald line right underneath the no guard all the way open. And since we're using the foil shaver, we want to make sure we use shave sticks so my client doesn't bump up. Going back to our no guard all the way open, we're closing the lever midway and all the way closed to help you remove that initial guideline. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you watch to the end. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard and start to soften up the line, getting it ready for the half guard. You're going to use the half guard to erase the line completely. Switching over to our two guard all the way open, we're going to create our third guideline and we're using the comb to feed the hair into the teeth of the clipper. Now that the line is soft enough with the two guard, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and start to connect the fade. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open and we're continuing to blend into the bulk. When you're starting to blend into the bulk, you want to make sure you're flicking out and you're using the teeth to feed the hair into the clipper because that helps out a lot when building the silhouette. Now we're moving on to the clipper over comb method, and we're using it to blend in and debulk. When you're using your vertical blending method with the cutting blade going up or down, you're starting to blend into higher lengths, versus if you have the cutting blade horizontally and you're cutting the hair going at a side angle, you're more likely debulking the hair rather than blending. As you can see here, I'm going vertically. There's a vertical blend. The blade is going up, while the clipper comb is being tilted. Begin to line him up, we're gonna debulk his hairline with the one guard all the way open, going with the grain. Always tilt your comb at an angle. Now that we're done debulking the hairline, we can move on to our Goat FX and begin to line him up. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a 10-minute haircut tutorial, so stay tuned. We're starting off by using our Goat FX to create our first guideline, contouring to his head shape. Always make sure to stretch the skin with your opposite hand when balding out with your trimmers. Now that we're done balding him out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Before we erase our initial guideline, we're going to go ahead and apply some shave sticks for our foil shaver. Now that we're done removing the stubble, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and continue to use the lever to erase our initial guideline. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you watch to the end. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. With this same guard, we're going to soften up the line and get it ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Moving on to our two guard all the way open, this guard will help us connect the fade with the 1.5 guard. You're also going to use this same guard with the lever to soften up the line and get it ready for the 1.5. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, and this is going to help us blend into the top bulk. We're knocking down the top with a 4 guard all the way closed. Moving on to our clipper oval comb method, you want to make sure you're tilting the comb at a certain degree just so you can make sure you're adding a blend instead of debulking all the way. Because the flatter you keep the comb, the more hair is going to cut. Moving on to his hairline, we're starting off in the middle because he's a little bit more denser than in the corners, so I want to make sure I match the middle to the sides. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Here I'm slowly etching in the line and making sure I match the right side to the left side. Right here we're applying some elegant shave gel, and now we're moving on to our hot towel and we're going to apply it nice and slowly. Now we're using our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades to make them as crispy as possible. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today, so stay tuned. Alright, we're going to be doing a mullet today, and we're going to be starting off with our Gold FX, creating our first guideline. This guideline is going to be in shape of a rainbow, but till its side. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we're going to move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. When you're fading your sides and you're heading towards the back area, you want to make sure you don't make your guideline too thick because you want to stay away from cutting those long hairs. We're going to be blending a little bit different today. We're going to be stacking our guidelines instead of blending each guideline one by one. Now we're heading over to our one guard all the way open, and we're feeding the hair into the clipper with our comb. You want to make sure when you're doing this process, you're flicking out. Now that we're done creating our third guideline, we're going to move on to our two guard all the way open and create our first guideline. As you can see, each guideline is stacked above each other. Now that we're done stacking our guards, we're going to move on to our 3 guard all the way open and debulk the sides. He wants his mullet more like a V shape, so I cut in to the sides a little bit, making it into a V shape. Louie here. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. I'm starting to notice a lot more activity and it's very motivating, so keep it up. We're going to be using our no guard all the way open, midway, and closed to remove our initial guideline. Now that our initial guideline is blended out, we're going to move on to our one guard all the way open and get it ready for the half guard. To soften up the line and get it ready for the half guard, you're going to need to close your lever halfway and all the way closed and flick out. Now that the line is soft enough, we're going to move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we're going to move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes the line is still there after you're done using this guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and flicking out your corners will help you erase that line. As you can see, we're switching back over to our 1 guard all the way open and cornering the fade. Now to debulk the darkness that's on the ridge, we're going to move on to our 3 guard all the way open and flick out using our comb. Moving on to the clipper over comb method, we're going to begin to debulk and connect the back area into the sides. This will help us transfer into our shear work. Transferring over to our shear work, we're going to go ahead and grab the hair with the comb and feed it into our fingers. Once we have it held with our fingers, we're going to go ahead and cut with our cutting blade. As you can see, I'm over directing the hair and grabbing it with the comb. Moving on to our thinning shears, we're going to go ahead and thin out a little bit of darkness I see near the ridge. Since my client wants his mullet area shaped in a V, we're going to go ahead and continue to fade the back area in an angle that's shaped in a V. Now we're switching over to our 1 guard all the way open and continuing to make the fade into a V. Now we're using the 2 guard all the way open to debulk. We're using our corners, keep in mind, we're not using the whole blade. Now we're going back to our shears, we're going to over direct the hair and debulk. We're going to continue to do some extra shear work in the back area because I saw that there were still some uneven hairs. I started off in the middle and in the upper area and working my way down. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Moving on to the beard area, we lined up the back of the beard. Also, we're going to be lining up the C-cup by starting on the bottom of the C-cup, working our way up to the top. We finished up the C-cups already. Now we're going to move on to the left side of his hair. Now we're going to be doing some shear work on the top. We're starting off with our guideline in the middle, chopping off about 1 inch and working our way to the sides.